Sabas has a Birdman bat, like we were just talking about Lars Anderson up front.
Oh yeah.
I just pulled it. I was like, I wonder if Kyle brought it because we were talking about it, and then I just told Sabas the whole story. He's like, oh no, I had no clue. I was like, dude, we were literally just talking about it 5 days ago.
With the Sambat
The Birdman bat.
Birdman bat.
We were talking about Lars Anderson from Jesuit.
Oh yeah.
And he made his own company, and he said he bought it in high school.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so random.
So I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I had a conversation yesterday before we came in to record with one of our members, who it turns out trained with Greg Anderson at the same time that Barry Bonds did, across the street from Balco.
Yeah.
And was in the house when Victor Conti was there the day after he'd been on 60 Minutes naming names, and Barry Bonds came in. And it was apparently a very tense and heated discussion that he could not hear all of. But
we're talking what, like Palo Alto-ish?
Yeah, not Palo Alto-ish, but ish, yeah, not Palo Alto, though. He said, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know the exact city all that went down, but I know it was Silicon Valley.
It was fascinating to me.
He was probably in high school?
He was just 20.
Yeah. I remember that is.
Yeah, at the time. I just that was a wow moment for me.
Yeah, that whole area is kind of a weird thing. I think we talked about it on air already, but so many, obviously the easy ones, the Barry Bonds, Tom Brady connection, same high school, same area, but Jeremy Lin's from that area. I mean, an insane amount of athletes are from that area, but...
Okay, where was it? Burlingame.
Yeah, Burlingame. Yeah, I think it's the first city my mom moved to.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah, very south of South San Francisco.
Yeah, I think we had a home there for a bit.
Anyway, just a very interesting conversation, particularly for me, because I was I watched. I never read Game of Shadows, and I feel like I probably should have, but I think I was kind of pissed at the way that it all came down.
Yeah,
and it was very much to me like a who cares.
I wonder why the conversation just died. Steroids. I even remember it being in more of the Mark McGwire stuff. I was probably in 6th, 7th grade maybe. And I didn't watch. I watched baseball okay amount, but the steroid thing was such a big. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like people don't even talk about it anymore in mainstream sports. Do they think testing just got that good? It just disappeared?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, probably downplayed. There was a great April Fool's Day joke about Aaron Judge that somebody posted saying that he had been sanctioned for 80 games, can't play for 80 games because of a PED test.
That's a harsh allegation of April 1st.
That's because it almost gets you. It's I kind of believe it. And no, actually, maybe not.
I mean,
he's just a freak outlier athlete.
A lot of the guys just don't look that crazy anymore. So I guess maybe that's why people don't talk about it. They don't look like Mark McGwire did. Mark McGwire was literally looking like fucking Batista or some shit. I saw a meme, similar thing of Barry Bonds coming back to take his record with the new bat, new bats in town. Barry's coming from retirement.
An interesting thing to me is that Barry was kind of hot and cold running, and I think I've heard that before, but from different people that sometimes he was friendly and whatever, and other times he was really not, and it was difficult to tell which one you were going to get.
Yeah. People say similar things of Jordan, and I think when you're on that high level of brain waves, you're probably thinking and moving a little different.
He said though that he worked his ass off in the gym.
I'd imagine it.
Which you can believe.
Yeah, he got real jacked. Yeah, McGuire was obviously jacked out of his fucking brains. You just don't see like Ohtani and stuff's obviously very fit.
Yeah,
but you would never say God damn, that guy's jacked.
Yeah,
he's fit.
Yeah, home runs are maybe more about eyesight and reflex,
sure,
than they are pure strength.
Yeah. It's like golf, but if you already have that locked in,
yeah,
and then you get jacked, it ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It ain't
Well,
gonna hurt.
that's clearly what happened. I think, anyway, just to go on the record to say, I think Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame just based on the numbers he had before the steroid era.
Yeah, you
Just
could delete that. Well, and then like, what do? You're just going to delete the whole era. Like from 1988 to 1998. It's kind of the Lance Armstrong argument.
Yeah.
Like, you would give the gold trophy to like number 10 because the top 9 would fail.
Yeah.
So you're just going to eliminate everyone. I mean, the biggest argument for trophies is Reggie Bush. Like, to not give him the Heisman and give everything back after not only the NIL, but every other motherfucker was taking money and cheating everywhere is insane. The Barry argument's pretty damn good. Pete Rose, right? Isn't Pete Rose the same thing with gambling?
Pete Rose is gambling, yeah. There's like...
And they didn't bring him in? Or they took away his Hall of Fame?
Well, he was banned from baseball, number one. Like, couldn't participate on any level with Major League Baseball and any minor league, a team that was affiliated with Major League Baseball. And then he couldn't get enough votes during his eligibility to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, which is wild.
And then not enough veterans would vote for him after his initial
scandal.
Yeah, because usually it's several years that you have to get to a certain point to even continue to be on the ballot, and then your eligibility expires within X number of years, and so then the writers can't put you in at that point, but the Veterans Committee might be able to. But he couldn't get enough traction there either. So
yeah, like talk about something that's never spoken about anymore. Like, there's no way more gambling within athletes isn't happening now than ever.
Oh, there's a really good chance of that. Yeah,
there's 100,000 apps.
Yeah,
like back then, Pete Rose had to go talk to the mafia. He was doing it the hard way.
Yeah,
like he had to go do some shit to talk to somebody who knew somebody to do some shit.
Yeah,
where now literally there's just no way it's not happening. Actually, the only one I heard got caught, and it wasn't publicized that much. I can't even think of his name, which is kind of a slap in his face. Sorry, buddy, but it's Michael Porter Jr., who is in the NBA. I think he's on the Nuggets still. Both of his brothers, like within a year, some crazy shit happened. One got caught gambling, was in the NBA himself, and the other one, I think, I don't know if it was a DUI and hit somebody or killed somebody. There's two crazy ass things of both his brothers who were both in the NBA, and then within like the same year, but. Yeah, same concept. Like, that is a pretty big deal. And he wasn't a star by any means, but he played, and no one that I know of even talked about it. And it's within like the last 3 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you hear about that? Yeah, why? Because fucking FanDuel and Prize Picks sponsor the fucking ABC and the NBA and the MLB. Like, so then, like, why would they want to bring that up?
ESPN.
For sure. Right? DraftKings. Like, that's ad is everywhere. And I'm not that anti-gambling. I had a big discussion with shout out my boy Chris and Agent, the streamer, and we were talking about because they don't gamble, and they've had friends, and they know the addiction of it all, and I do too. Like, my dad was really into gambling. He just was like really good at cutting it off, and never affected the family by any means. Because then you just split it up, and even me, like, I'll still like throw $50 at a UFC fight every once in a while, but the issues is like overspending, obviously, doing it every day. And my segue to this is I was watching another YouTube like documentary, which are getting better. There's like multiple people. There's Channel 5, right? I feel like was one of the first ones. But who's the other kind of dorky-ish white guy? But he often goes to the hood. He'll do like he started off going to the hood and like just like filming them like literally committing crimes. Maybe you've for sure seen him, Sebas. Pretty normal. No, kind of shorter. Maybe it used to be longer. Channel 5 has the hella long hair. Yeah. This guy's had like kind of clean cut, normal ass looking white dude, whatever. So he started with all this hood stuff, but then he'll start to get into like more deeper. He went to San Francisco and talked to some of the fentanyl folks. But he was talking to, is it Mickey something? There's this like, he's like a unicorn. So half the world or more than half the world says he's just the world's biggest scammer. He's got all these face tats. He kind of looks like he should be part of like a emo early 2000s band. Half the world says he's just the biggest liar and scammer on the planet. And then half the world follows a story, which is that he's just the best gambler of all time and has gotten kicked out of every hotel ever, which has happened. Like Dana White says he's not allowed to go to the MGM anymore because he like won like 20 mil and they didn't want to like pay him off or something like that. And same with this guy, is at least his stories. But then everyone else like does research and says his parents are fucking.
The only person I know that's ever been kicked out of a permanently kicked out of a casino was a cocaine thing. So
yeah, like you got to be acting crazy,
Yeah.
But he does like documentaries on people like that now, or like whatever it is, and some of them honestly are like, again, like we're becoming documentary specialists as we've watched hundreds now. Some of these YouTube ones are straight up better.
Yeah.
Like they're better than what all these other companies like. Yeah, ESPN or Netflix or whoever does some of those have kind of a recipe.
I'd say HBO, ESPN, and then somewhat further down Netflix.
Yeah.
Just because the Netflix is such a mixed bag. Some of them are,
Yeah, and I haven't always looked at like who actually produced or directed the ones we do, but like, yeah, the ESPN ones have like a recipe, and that recipe works.
Right.
One, because sports are emotional and a good tie. Two, just because they have their format. The Last Dance, obviously, being the easiest one to point to. That's just fucking good. You could not care about any of it, but it's pretty good. We're diving into some YouTube ones, Faceless, which I think is a big component of this whole thing. You probably get ads everywhere, like everyone else, where build a faceless YouTube and make $30,000 a day.
I did not get that.
Oh, really? That's
no.
everywhere. That's everywhere on the internet. It's like the new side gig. And this one's completely faceless. And I've seen some of these too, where they'll like dive into popular content creator. Oftentimes they're niched out, because like I think we were on air, maybe we were off air when Sebas was talking about. Them referencing each other and shit, because there's nowhere else to like get the content, because you're talking about random ass people. They're doing XQC the streamer or something. Like you can't really find anything on him because he's just an internet guy.
Yeah, you just have to.
Yeah, you got to dig. And so it sounds like obviously this is like that too. We're going over Braille skateboards and its attachment or connection to Scientology and cults. And what's the title of the one I watched? Jim watched a plethora.
Did you watch? I think you watched this one, the one from Dumb Data, Rise and Fall. I am Cairo, the Rise and Fall of Braille Skateboarding's
I watched that.
YouTube channel. I also watched How Scientology Destroyed a Popular Skateboarding Channel, and then I watched the probably first 10 minutes or so of Why the Biggest Skateboarding Channel on YouTube Collapsed by Du Bois. Du Bois being former skaters on the channel, former employees of Braille.
The ones that the main movie references that left, because they reference one guy that they tie in a bunch of stuff, and it's mostly like analytics, which obviously makes it a little boring, but they try to tie in one popular character leaving and the channel tanking.
Yeah, that he is not one of the people that they do talk about him.
Yeah, we need that, right? We need the interview with this guy. We need fucking Braille himself in there, and then we need this cool guy. Those are the interviews we need.
Okay, here's why you're not going to get him.
Yeah, well, of course. Scientology, yeah, of course.
Because, no, the other guy. I mean, you're going to get him, but you're also not going to get the other guy.
Yeah.
And I would say that the main one that we both watched, I would not call that a documentary. I would say that's an expose.
Sure.
Or an it's crossed with like an explainer, analysis, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not really documenting anything but particular incidents and then what it does to the YouTube channel's views.
Yeah, we're trying to find some correlations.
Yeah. The sort of inciting thing that connects it to Scientology in that video is that he, what's his name? Aaron comes out as pro Scientology in a video. And then it becomes known that he's at a certain level in Scientology. It's like going clear. You're basically like paying to level up in which is like a video game. It's really weird.
Yeah, but there's probably something to that too, right? Like there's definitely something in sales and marketing that when you pay a higher price, you like value that thing more.
Yeah.
And so like if I had to pay $1 million to be level 4, like I'm stoked to be level 4,
and then it comes out that he has spent $750,000 leveling up with Scientology.
Yeah, level 3.
And then he posts a video about for fundraising for a skate park in his hometown.
Yeah.
Trying to renovate it, and people are like, "But you just put $750,000 into leveling up in Scientology. Why couldn't you fix this problem yourself?"
Yeah, what's a skate park cost? You know,
I have no idea.
Like, well, it's just cement. Like
Yeah, it's just
a
cement.
big pool will cost you like 70.
Yeah.
You know, so like a skate park, less than $1 million. That's for sure.
So, kind of an important point is that this guy was not a famous skateboarder.
No.
And nobody that really skated with him, was like a high level competitor or anything like that. His stuff was based on, like, his first videos that actually hit were how-to videos for skateboarding.
Yeah, he was early YouTube adopter.
Very early, even like almost maybe a year earlier than me, I think.
Yeah, and Giant. Like, he was the biggest skateboarding channel for a long time, it felt like. The most interesting thing, and the expose we'll call it, is they don't know, obviously, but they kind of reference him being part of Scientology even before it.
Yes.
Before he's rich, for sure, and before he pops off, for sure. So it sounded like, by the rough stuff, like maybe 07, 08, he got involved with Scientology. Then all these videos come out about Scientology more in like 09 to 2010, 2011.
After 2010, for sure, because there's the guy in the data one talks about how he's basically was dormant from 2005 to 2010.
Yeah, which maybe he was holding electroids and searching for aliens.
Apparently, just he was auditing himself, self-auditing.
Yeah, you wonder what like that time commitment is. Like, obviously based on Going Clear and other documentaries and Scientology, like, once you're in, like, you're a slave. You're working all day or doing something weird. But then even even if you're a peripheral character in the church, you would think that you got to. It's definitely more than an hour on a Sunday.
For sure.
So then, like, how could you make 2 vlogs a day if you're so busy leveling up or whatever? And maybe that was part of it. And then he ran out of money and then doubled down.
Part of the success of this channel was that there was just so many videos. There was at least a video a day for a very long period of time, which more than 10 years, which is not something that most people can do.
And he could skate. I mean, he could straight up skate.
Yeah,
he wasn't bad by any means.
No, he just was not a high level competitor or anything. So like, all what he had to offer initially was instruction, and then it turned into, let's make skateboards out of crazy fucking things.
Yeah, which is like perfect YouTube content. He had great content brain.
Glass, which is like his biggest video ever, was a skateboard made of glass that he rode for, fractions of a second because it exploded, and then he did it again, and that one also exploded.
Yeah, that's an early adopter too. Like, that kind of content is still what the internet is. That's what goes viral right now.
He did a flat screen TV. He did one made out of chains.
One that wouldn't break.
Yeah,
just cheap Amazon one. All that's genius.
All that crazy kind of YouTube content mill stuff. Yeah,
but no one was doing it then, I don't think.
No, I think he was kind of the first to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some other one, but like that was so non-traditional YouTube, because traditional YouTube was like a place to store your shit.
Yeah,
like if you're MTV, they start uploading stuff, highlights of like basketball, how-tos maybe, and then like that's kind of it. If we're talking like 2010, there was nothing going on, and then for him to even like vlog in like 2013, that was early wave too.
Yeah,
like vlogging really took off like 2016, 2017, which he obviously continued. And I think they said 2015, 2016 was his biggest years.
2016 was definitely the biggest
year. And those
are
crazy views. Like, we're talking billions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like crazy amounts of views. What I wonder is like 2008, let's say he's 23 or something. Who knows? They don't really dig into that too much. Like, are you just like a Tom Cruise fan? Like, how do you find Scientology and step through that door? Like, what's step one?
That's a really good question that is not answered at all in anything that I've read, is how he got into it in the first place.
Well, I don't know how any of them.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Like, Tom Cruise is obviously, all those guys are probably recruited because, they have the giant hotel looking church in Hollywood and they all live there. Like that kind of, there's some kind of draw there, you know. If L. Ron Hubbard's probably rich as shit, going to fancy restaurants, who's at fancy restaurants? Tom Cruise characters, and you know, something happens. But yeah, how's like a random ass kid? Do they say where he's from? I assume just like the Midwest or something.
San Francisco.
Oh, okay, way off. Big skate town though, but you know, still, you're just a kid from the city.
Yeah.
You know, like, because like, and I'm sure there's graphs we could find over time, and obviously Scientology's, you know, sorry to all our Scientology listeners, but is a little bit in its own category versus other, you know, Judaism, Muslim, you know, Christianity, yeah, all the majors in the world that are made up of, you know, just those three alone has like 5 billion members across the world. When there's hard times in the world or someone's going through hard times, they're going to start to search for some faith or some hope or something to rely on. And it's, you know, even right now in the last 5 years, you know, Bible sales are through the roof in America. Like, I understand all that. But like, what makes you think like, oh, like times are hard, let me pay $750,000 to not be hard, you know, to like get this alien out of me and fix myself, you know, like,
yeah.
Like, and I know the self-help world, like I've read many of those books, you know, all the typicals, the 4 lessons and all this bullshit. I've read all those and I like some of them for sure, but that's a $12 audio book, you know, to try to search for someone else's philosophy that may call to you. Or even Tony Robbins, you know, like I even understand, like, all right, like I've had a lot of friends go to like his stuff live and pay, you know, $1,000 to $5,000 and say like, no, this was awesome. Like the guy's energy, you know, you learn some real applicable lessons in business and life. Like you search for something, but just to jump up to $250,000, like you don't hear the success of the Scientologists besides Tom Cruise's like fake smile. You know,
it's everybody's fake smile, because if you saw this guy, he had the fake smile.
I mean, even look at his thumbnail; it just looks crazy,
like way up there. So, kind of as the story rolls out, and this came from the channel from Du Bois, the guys who used to skate for him and work for him. Except for one of the skaters, and that's one of the guys who left, and the views fell off significantly after that. Everybody else was a Scientologist.
Yeah, which makes sense, right?
And they said that they were never recruited. Nobody ever tried to get them to join. I don't know if they thought that they were just not good candidates, or it just doesn't. I don't know. I mean,
the ones doing the video.
Yeah. Nobody ever tried to get them to join, and then eventually the data one talked about it a little bit, but not a ton. There was almost 2 years that this guy was gone from the channel.
Yeah.
He said he was like going to business school or something. And what it turned out that he was doing was he was in some intensive training program for high-level management inside Church of Scientology. And then eventually after that, it came out that he was made the head of Scientology in San Francisco.
Oh, shit. I wonder, are you getting like paid? Are you getting fucking salaried up? Are you getting like food or something? You know, like how do they...
I don't know. They're probably, you know, $4 a day or something, you know?
Yeah.
So that was obviously a big deal. And then these guys believe that the skater who left, who was a Scientologist.
Oh, the popular one?
The popular one.
Was also a Scientologist.
And he is involved in the church in L.A.
And these all seem pretty current stories.
These are over the past few years. Yeah. And
because he was still making videos, right?
He was,
or like the channel was putting out videos
while he was gone. He sort of left everything, like just suddenly left everything in the hands of one dude.
Crew, which isn't like that abnormal. Like once you switch the channel, you know, to Braille, the company, which I actually kind of like that reference of the name and how they explain all that. I'm trying to look up at the channel's latest videos.
There's only one this year,
but that's still something.
It's got like
he just dropped one yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? Okay, interesting.
23 hours ago. How to recover from an injury in skateboarding. Well, Ultimate Skateboarding Guide was 2 days ago. No, he's ripping right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I only saw one for the year.
I'm on Braille Skateboarding.
Yeah, that's what I was on.
He's got 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, 9 days ago, 10 days ago, 12 days ago.
What are they?
He's dropping dailies.
What are the view counts?
Low thousands,
and then
8, 10,
and
8.
then go back to the first one in January and look at the comments.
I don't know how to do that. 1 month ago was 3 months ago.
Yeah,
because he's literally dropping dailies still.
Yeah, all of the comments are like, "Dude, give it up. Dude, it's over. Dude, go home."
Haters.
Yeah,
haters.
And that.
Yeah, he's in San Francisco for sure. Skateboarding San Francisco's skate breaks versus San Francisco's steepest hill.
Jeez. So along the way, he literally had he built an indoor skate park, kind of a la what's his name from Ridiculousness?
Yeah, Rob Dyrdek.
Rob Dyrdek, similar to that, and eventually he didn't have the money to keep it going.
Yeah, especially if it's in San Francisco. Imagine what the fuck.
No, it was in L.A.
Yeah, I mean, either way,
and
that ain't cheap.
And he was continuing to give money to Scientology, and that totaled up to over $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, so level 3 was like 2016.
Yeah, dropped another. Yeah,
this dude's talking to Zainu, the fucking alien. Now he's leveled up.
Yeah, and so eventually the landlord kicked him out, and so they had to tear everything down. Like one of the guys in the crew was coming in to film, and they're tearing all the ramps down and shit. Yeah. And he's like, "Fuck, I don't like." So there is a whole series of videos of these guys individually, like on their own channels, saying why they left and whatever.
Yeah. But it sounds like they weren't that negative, huh?
They were pretty negative about him personally, and because he chose to put his money into Scientology versus the business versus them. So that's another piece of it, is that they didn't get paid very much.
Yeah.
And they were the stars of the channel in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But they did not share the wealth. He was shuffling it off to Scientology, and I imagine he was probably paying the people who were working for him, who were Scientologists, relatively well, so they could be putting their money into leveling up, and just decided that these skaters were not good candidates for Scientology, or not good candidates for ever leveling up, or whatever. I don't know.
I'm kind of insulted. I've never been recruited too. Kind of an insult.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe you haven't walked by the one downtown in the right time of day.
I know. I never see nobody in there.
I never seen anybody in there either.
The lights are like always on, and I swear I have seen like a screen in there playing some kind of pamphlet or something.
Yeah, it's
right.
A constant loop. Yeah,
but I've never seen like a human.
I don't think I have either, to be honest. But
and I wonder if they have the whole tower. It is an odd building too. It's obviously very old.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a mini church. It's just like shoved in the back of our basketball arena almost.
Yeah.
It's so random.
Building near, part of Doko.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird.
So part of their video is talking about the fact that they got paid like maybe $20 an hour for what they did. And eventually they just kind of had enough. And they don't... it's not a personality thing. It's not like they hate him because he's a bad person.
Yeah, just bad decisions.
Or whatever. It's just the bad decisions. And then I was thinking about this morning, and the decline of the channel, a lot of it could be just a normal YouTube channel life cycle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And they kind of go into that about like correlation. And the main character leaving, or like the favorite character leaving, might... probably, in my opinion, would play a bigger role. And then, the algorithm, bro. Like, what channel? Like, PewDiePie ain't getting the views if we went to his channel right now.
Yeah, who was popular in 2016 is still steaming now, because the landscape is so totally changed.
Yeah, there's people with the big name still. Like Dobrik still stays relevant, in terms of his name. But I don't know what his channel does. Obviously, Mr. Beast has had a pretty good run. He probably started 2012 and took off maybe 2017 and still has some run. But even the new guys, and been lucky enough to rub elbows with like the AMP guys and Agent and them. Like Agent's been doing it a good while, but a good while is like 7 years.
Yeah.
He did and his content had to evolve majorly. He used to just do 2K basketball content on YouTube, and now he's streaming. Yesterday he was filling up balloons until he took flight, tied to his back, like Up, the fucking movie. So like they're. Bro, he literally had the soundtrack of Up going. It's a 250-pound man in his backyard. But yeah, your content evolves, and it's all live versus YouTube. So yeah, if you're doing just skateboard shit, how long are you gonna last? And he is creative. Again, I've never heard of Braille really or watched.
I haven't either. And the thing is, like,
Sebas, you said you heard of it, right? Braille. Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot of focus on any of these about the actual business beyond YouTube.
Right.
So like they sold decks.
Yeah, I went to the website. Everything's 20% off. I don't know what a skateboard costs, but their shit felt cheap. Like I think it was like $40 for a deck.
That's and their merch looked kind of cool.
No, it all looked fine. Yeah,
but it didn't. I don't know. There was just nothing about how that came about, who did it, and what the margins on that might have been.
But
whatever.
if he's ripping that company in 2015, 16 with those type of views, like you could easily 10x your ad rev. Like his money income from that company, even if it was shit, which it looked fine to me, like it looked cool enough. Yeah, he made a shit ton of money for sure. 1 billion views is insane-o.
Yeah.
And I assume like those people were about it, because at that point he was vlogging, which is a lot more connection to your audience than if you're just doing viral shit. Your connection to your audience is kind of whatever. If you're just like, will it explode guy or whatever, does it blend, does it bend, those type of channels. But it sounds like people liked him a lot.
Yeah, not as much as as his sort of main character guy, but any of the other people, but they still liked him. But it's just not what it was, and it's because YouTube's not what it was. I think you have to be. I don't even know who you have to be anymore, to tell you the truth. But there's just so many more channels. There's so many more people with celebrity outside of YouTube who came to YouTube.
Yeah,
and really muddied the waters for everyone.
Yeah. Well, and it's just you want new shit. So if you're doing the same style content in 2020 that you did in 2014. Braille's probably not going to have a chance. You got to evolve. You got to do something different. I mean, I show Speed. Probably the biggest YouTuber in the world, right? Like I guess you could argue Mr. Beast, whatever. But Speed's like literally like going to the depths of China, live streaming it and turning it into videos. Like in anywhere he wants because they know he's a celebrity. Like they're putting him on. He's in a flying car, live streaming. You didn't see that clip? Insane, bro. And obviously Speed's reactions are insane, but like. Yeah, he's literally in a flying car in China, flying. And that guy, I don't even know how Speed started. Was it like a FIFA thing? Not even, I don't know. But obviously he's, just regular shit. And so like, no one wants to just watch you kickflip a glass skateboard 20 times. No. Yeah.
Well, or once.
Yeah.
Because pretty much that's all you could do. The thing that really struck me when I was looking at it, though, is that it didn't, because they weren't talking about him from a personally negative standpoint most of the time. It was really just beefs about how the business was run, where the money was spent, and how they were treated. It didn't have to be Scientology that caused all this.
Sure.
It clearly was.
Right. It could have been a gambling addiction. It could have been
either
anything.
been gambling, drugs, alcohol.
Yeah.
Prostitutes. I don't know. Whatever you want to say.
Whatever your addiction is.
Whatever your addiction is, that could have contributed or could have caused essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Except that there probably would have been a lot more personality damage from that, I guess. Like he would have been more difficult to work with or for, other than just being absent or
that's kind of the curious part, right? Like if they don't really talk negative on like him as a human, I don't know, the whole Scientology thing's weird because like spending money is like a whole psychological game too, and like some humans, probably same reason like cold plunge and other things are really popular right now. is when you do something hard, like you feel like it like validates and you did something good, right?
Yeah.
Like we're kind of programmed that way, whether it's
virtue signal.
yeah, or just like evolutionary, right?
Yeah.
Like you do something hard to survive. And so like modern day, we're pretty comfortable. So you hop an ice plunge, you suffered for a minute and you're like, damn, I just worked really hard, you know? And so I wonder if there's like an aspect of that to Scientology that keeps them wanting to pay money. You know, like, damn, like I just had to clean this whole room with a toothbrush, or I only ate one piece of white bread because I'm talking to, Inu, the fucking alien. Let me pay another 10 G's in that. A insane concept that seems to get popular now too is like these like, I can't even like say the word. I feel embarrassed. There's like alpha male camps or something going on.
Oh yeah.
And like, so you're paying 10 G's to go,
to learn how to not have empathy.
Well, just to do like burpees, to do burpees with someone splashing you with cold water or something, and getting, yelled at or something like that. And which I could, do for you for free if you'd like. Like you can do it on your own, like
feel free.
And I do think there is something there. Like I do think humans need to struggle, and I think there's, power in hard work, and I think there's mental clarity, in doing hard things and waiting for the outcome. And I wonder if that's like the psychological tie that keeps these Scientology folks cuffed in, because I just can't understand it.
No, I don't get it either. I think that, maybe some FOMO,
Yeah. Yeah. Once you touch it, maybe,
once you're in it. Yeah. And just, really it might be like the perfect storm of peer pressure too.
Yeah.
About leveling up and whatever. And just like,
gamifying it's really smart on Elron's part.
Yeah,
Gamifying it makes you want to do more and better.
But like, what do you have to do in your life to generate that kind of money? And that's the thing he did here. I think that,
what's the other people doing? Like, do you just stay at level 1 if you're broke?
Probably, yeah.
Or do they go teach you how to like go make money? Maybe so then they can take it.
Well,
that's what this alpha male shit feels like sometimes.
He says in one of the videos that like the courses themselves are cheap. It's the leveling up that's expensive.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like but no one wants to be level 1 forever.
No.
So like, is that or is it, which is possible too? Is it just only rich people? Because that's possible.
Yeah, well, the Going Clear, I don't know, I haven't seen anything since then about it, but Going Clear said that there were maybe only 50,000 people in Scientology
that's
at this
insane.
point. But like, hundreds of millions and billions of dollars there, but just not that many people.
Yeah.
And I don't...
Yeah, no, 50,000 times... 20,000. Yeah, you're already at over millions.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm not gonna understand.
I didn't hear that number. That makes sense, because I was always wondering how many folks are in there. Yeah,
I don't
50,000 ish.
I don't know what the current number is. But,
sure,
but 10 years ago the number was.
Yeah, I doubt it fucking quadrupled. Maybe
I don't
it
think
did.
It necessarily
sadly,
grew. And I just in terms of data, I was looking at what did skateboard sales do from 2010 to 2020 or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is they kind of jumped after 2016, but his views went down. So it's really something about his channel or his audience and not about the popularity of skateboarding. I was trying to look at...
Yeah, because that seems like a lull in skateboarding. Again, I don't follow it that close.
Yeah.
But it seems like that's kind of like when the X Games weren't as cool, and then they weren't in the Olympics yet.
Right.
And then, like, now it's kind of getting a mini resurgence again. I just looked up. I was wondering how journalistic we need to be here. I looked up the leader of Scientology in Sacramento. And I wonder if we need to have David Miscavige on the podcast. There's just no way they would come, but that would be an insane interview.
Well, he's the leader of the whole thing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, why'd that pop up? I said, who's the leader in Sacramento?
Oh, apparently he's the leader everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see if I can find... Because there's got to be one, right? Like if
there's one in San Francisco,
right,
but you might not be able to figure out who it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the
Church of Scientology Sacramento, all are welcome. Yeah, these websites look crazy.
Just open your wallet.
Oh, do they have that whole building? Oh, they have a giant building. I thought they just had like a storefront, but I think they have the whole building.
They own the whole building? Because there are other businesses in there.
I don't know. They're putting it on their website like they do.
Well, there's a gym in the basement, or at least there was.
Oh, really?
Maybe there isn't anymore.
I don't know. They're showing interior pictures like they own this bitch.
Maybe the guy...
1973. Damn! When was Scientology even started? I wonder if we're one of the first hubs.
70s, yeah.
This was made in. This has been since 73.
Oh shit.
That's insane. L. Ron Hubbard, blah blah blah. Real results. Dianetics helped me take off emotional charge attachment to losses from my past.
Yeah, that's the part of the message that we got from Going Clear.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out who this guy is. How amazing would it be to get the Scientology leader here? Oh shit!
Interesting.
I mean, it's possible. What do I know?
But that's
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's like I mean, where's it pulling those numbers from is the question.
About us. Yeah, who knows? 1973 blows my brain. The Ramona building, it's called.
Yeah. There's other stuff in the Ramona building. I'm trying to figure out. I don't remember what that is, though.
Free tour. 9 free tours are from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. These dudes are hustling every day. And then there's refreshments. Take a tour and see our multimedia displays. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I'm trying to zoom in on.
Okay, so maybe that number was 50,000. Yeah, the U.S. Worldwide, though, they're making that up. Like, I mean, it's probably easier to recruit worldwide. You know, you go to. Yeah. Sacramento leader of Scientology. Just give me an answer here.
So that's the building. I've never noticed that they have the big, like, cross symbol up there.
Yeah. No. I done seen it. The 1010 room. That's just a bar.
Okay. Bear with me, everybody, for just a second here.
Chairman of the Board of Religious Technology Center. They just make it sound so crazy.
How do I get to Street View from here, folks?
Oh, we're on Reddit. That's where it's going to get weird.
It's just destined to get weird there.
Scientology Sacramento Reddit.
Oh my goodness.
Sacramento area was once a sort of Scientology boomtown.
Seriously?
This one says a mission was started about 12 miles to the west in Davis in 1967.
Oh, good Lord.
We're Scientology pioneers. And then, yeah, in Sacramento in 1974 with around 100 staff. I don't know who this person is. This is that 70s Clear. That's his name? Oh, maybe he's a Scientologist.
From the 70s.
Oh, shit.
And he's clear.
I've been trying to get clear, too. I mean, that concept sounds great, right? Like, it ties into, like, enlightenment, you know, like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Or even, yeah.
Buddhism is so much cheaper.
Yeah, or
you just have to
4.
give away everything, but you give it to charity. So, yeah.
Yeah, true.
You can definitely start with nothing. How can I get to Street View?
Oh, man.
Because I know that there are other businesses right here.
Yeah, I know on the other side there's stuff close for sure.
Well, that bar is there.
1010?
Yeah.
I've always heard of 1010. I've never been.
Yeah,
on the Scientology website, they show like interior pictures. I've never seen of that building. It looks crazy.
Yeah, it's a classic historic downtown Sacramento building. It's probably from the 20s or 30s. I don't know, hard to tell. But yeah. We're diving deep into research here, so we're being quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this leader.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to say. No. I feel like it's probably not going to say.
I know. I wonder if he dove in more on Aaron's name, if it would. It probably is, bro. Yeah, dude, straight recruiting on Reddit on the hustle. I don't know, man.
Anyway, there was a point I was going to make somewhere along the line, and that's that a certain era of YouTube, when people are trying to get channels off the ground, they don't make much money. They don't take much money. They get people to cooperate with them and stuff, and be in their videos and not, not pay them much or pay them anything at all. And then when some of them become very, very popular, their attitude toward paying, people who were involved in their videos doesn't improve. Like they don't pay them more. They don't share the wealth. And I think partly because it's like, that it could all just go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it's just like perspective on business. Like, are you going to turn it into a business and scale it up and figure it out? Or is it just, scarcity mindset where, it could disappear any minute. I just got to fucking squeeze onto this thing, which is everything everywhere. I think that happens in business. I think it happens in friendships. It happens in relationships. I think it happens everywhere where people have a weird perspective on things. I mean, the truth is too, like, to make a lot of money, like this dude was like a top 0.01% YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like the numbers he's pulled are still historic. Like, yeah, now, sure, tons of people have 1 million. But in 2016, like, I still think in 2016, PewDiePie was the biggest with like 7 million subs.
Probably so.
Maybe a little bit more. Maybe he had 10 million subs, but like the numbers were so different, where who's the biggest now? Probably Mr. Beast with like, doesn't he have like 100 mil or something stupid? Like, yeah, just some other, yeah. But yeah, isn't it in like the hundreds of millions? I think Kai Cenat was even trying to hit like 20 or 50 mil. Yeah, I know. Yeah, see, the interior looks crazy. It looks like they own the whole shit. Obviously, they can picture it however they want, but I think that's them.
Yeah.
Dianetics on the window.
I just...
For Mr. Beast? Bro, literally 10 years ago, I swear. Watch. Google what was the biggest YouTube channel in 2016 and see if it shows up how many subs. I almost swear it was PewDiePie with like... Because that's even before like the Logan Pauls really took over. I swear it was like 10, 11 mil. Just the amount of people watching YouTube now is insane.
YouTube has largely replaced TV. I mean...
Yeah, for a lot of people.
I mean, YouTube is the biggest streamer.
In 2016? Who was it? PewDiePie. That's crazy. But even still, even that growth to 300-something mil, No, yeah, I think, I mean, especially for the next gen, if you're 30 and under, you probably chose a platform, most likely YouTube, but Twitch or whatever, and that's what you watch. I mean, even me, yeah, I'll watch some Netflix or something when I'm going to sleep, but I'm pretty tapped into like the Twitch world, and it's just kind of what I came up on, and kind of in that era. That's why I liked it. In that era, ain't nobody on Twitch. Like 2015, 2016, no one was watching. The max viewers were like 5K. Yeah, like the biggest viewership was like 5K. And then Fortnite hit, it kind of changed the game.
Good to know that the Sacramento Church of Scientology accepts contactless payments.
That's so crazy.
I'd like to level up today.
The Yelp's pretty good.
4-star on Yelp.
Incredible experience.
Able to do a personality and IQ test and see where I needed to improve efficiency. Okay.
Oh, Lauren.
Yeah. I'm sorry, lady.
I wonder if people are living up there.
That's a good question.
Again, possible. Like in the Leo whatever documentary, I'm pretty sure she talked a lot more about people like living in the one in LA. Right? Then it looks like a dorm.
There's,
yeah.
I think it used to be a hotel at some point.
Yeah, it definitely looks like one.
I'm just trying to remember what businesses are on that other side, because that's the 5th Street tunnel.
No, I think it's a alley.
It's an alley on this side. I think it's
on the
I think it's the
closed
tunnel
side?
on the other because oh no, actually I'm not.
No, I think it's the further up.
You're right, because this is that.
Yeah, because there's coffee shops and Trifecta and all that on the ramp.
This is the Golden One.
Yeah.
Bank building.
Yeah, that's where like Trifecta, Roots Coffee or something. A bunch of folks were in there. This might be straight Scientology.
Maybe so. The
yeah.
I think I've seen some people in but they're working
Yeah, the
And
books.
it was
Are
in the picture that it went past. The
little L. Ron Hubbard keychains.
totally an aside, absolutely an aside. But this corner right here, like right across from them, used to be a thing called Egghead Software, and I just fucking loved that place back in the like 80s and early 90s.
Like a Best Buy type deal or a little Radio Shack.
It was just like a software store. It was all software. There was no,
Interesting.
I mean, other than like scanners and stuff, there was no hardware, and it was just like that's where you went to get your Microsoft Word or whatever. If you were at the point that you couldn't buy it through the university anymore, and games.
Talk about an obsolete business model.
Yeah, since everything could just be downloaded now, the physical media is not that important.
Yeah, browse it.
Well, that's about all I got for this one.
We may explore new cults. There's got to be more. That fitness one is good. That fat shaming one. There's got to be more like that we can explore down the road. Were you here for that one, Sebas? Yeah, it was a while ago. It was good though. Yeah, some lady, but she was like Christian. She like made a. Don't you remember? We did the fat lady, fat shaming, because I'm pretty sure it was a Christian church.
Yeah, and then she's the one that died, right?
Yeah. Sold $1 trillion in books, and then basically like turned Christianity into like a fat shaming diet church or something. It was pretty good.
There was I don't think we watched together the follow up for that. I did watch there's like a 1 or 2 episode follow up after she died and like what was happening to the.
Yeah, because that was like modern day too. That was probably in this era. That was probably in like the 2012s or something. Yeah, like it wasn't that old.
No, it was not. Well, no, and she died kind of recently.
Yeah, I think so.
In the last like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird. We live in a time when people can just say things that don't make any sense and they don't bother with like the logic of it because they don't care. And she was one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I don't know if that's a new thing though.
I don't think it's a new thing, but it seems like there's a whole lot of it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have more veins to grab attention is all. Because now you can use the internet versus just like knocking on doors. Yeah, we'll see. But maybe we'll hunt down this cult thing a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. New episodes every Wednesday. I'm Solid Mike. Where you want to find me?
I am at the Jim McD on all the social media. This show is 50% Facts, where percentage is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% Facts is a Speaker Prime podcast in association with the IR Media on the Obscure Celebrity Network. We'll talk to you later.